Previously on Lifesteal, me and Sam were inseparable, and then we got separated. I'm pretty sure this chicken is evil, dude. Is that someone's head? I need to do more. I need to get stronger. Where are you, buddy? I know you're close. Oh, I see your name tag. This is my buddy Enjoy Hoop. I told him about the server and he loved the idea of hopping on. So he said he would help me with a few things going forward. Okay, so last time you guys saw me, we were in a small room. So when I reveal this, I just want you to know that it was not just me doing this. It was also my buddy. Welcome to the base! We did a little bit of upgrades, to be honest. I think it looks pretty sweet to start, but we want to make it look sick at the end here. Also, look who came crawling back. It's Sam. When I was out and about, I was just kind of exploring, and then he teleported to me, and honestly, I thought I was getting jumped by him, but it turns out it was just Sam. I don't know where he was. He was off on his own adventure. I'm not gonna lie, I did not think I was gonna see this guy again, but I'm not complaining. Base tour time speed run. Here we go. Cooking, random chest, to-do wall, enchantment table with maxed enchants. This random area, cow and sheep torture area, not my idea. Secret room for later, epic storage area, underground mob farm, tree room with naked sheep included, and finally, farm time. Don't worry about the naked sheep, he does that by choice. I decided to go exploring to scope out my surroundings, but also just to see what I could find. You never know when you're gonna run across a secret base or something crazy. The truth is, I was out here for one very important thing that I needed to find. Villagers. Villagers are absolutely necessary to be a strong player on this server. But see, that's the problem. Players on this server are ruthless and have raided and pillaged every village, killing all the villagers and taking them. Finding villagers was going to be no easy task. While exploring, I saw something that caught my eye. Oh, dude, another portal. Whoa, it's ugly. I just wanted to check it out, but while entering the portal, I got into a fight with a couple ghasts. Why is hitting this fireball so hard? Ow, ow, knock it off, dude. Okay, I am in fire, but not on the good way. You like that? You like that? They call me Pro Gamer Guy. Pro Gamer, awesome gamer. After killing the ghast on my very first try, I decided to leave the nether. Bunky! If you know what I'm referring to, please leave a comment, bro, please. I kept traveling and had to fight a bunch of random mobs. I found this suspicious piece of gravel on the ground, so I dug down to see what it was. And you know what I found, dude? It was nothing. The guy dug down here and did nothing with it. What was even the point? Why did you come down here? What is even... After going a bit further, I ended up finding a village. But as I expected, the village was a mess and they left nothing of value behind. I found this weird thingy with trapdoors, but I have no idea what it was supposed to be. Once again, I found another village, but it was the same outcome as last time. This is so frustrating, dude. This is your fault. After more exploration, I found a villager outpost, which is actually kind of useful considering they spawned there. And that's when it happened. The most interesting thing of the night. Figured it would be looted. Whoa, 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 whoa. Villager, but evil. Okay, sweet. I trapped him. Now what? So I called the only man for this job, Enjoy Hoop, who coincidentally is literally the only man I could have called. A plan was simple. Name tag him so we can't despawn, and then we'll row our boats all the way back to shore. The plan was foolproof, frankly. And then it turned day, he caught on fire and died. No. No, it can't be. I blame Hoob. I went to do the Walk of Sadness home and I saw another structure in the distance. And it was another random abandoned structure. Why do people keep doing this? What was the point? What was the purpose? As I was running along, I found this random hole and I was like, ooh, I'm gonna go down that. But I had a brain freeze and forgot how water buckets work. Uh-oh. Oh my gosh. I fought for my life down here, and if it wasn't for that totem, I would have died. Ran into a spider mob spawner, which could be useful. I then started getting absolutely assaulted by this random witch in the cave, and I nearly died. I'm just glad poison doesn't kill you. While trying to escape, I saw something out of the corner of my eye. It was the deep dark, which if it's not looted, that could lead to some awesome finds. But that was something I was gonna have to come back for later. After I escaped the cave, I came across this random nether portal, and I thought, oh boy, what is safer than going into a nether portal? I love nether portals. Nothing bad ever happens in nether portals. There is no way anything bad could ever... Ugly pigs. Wait a second. I'm sorry. Oh no. Great. Now I'm poor again. This was a crushing moment because I had no villagers and my first death on the server. I may have been knocked down, but I was not defeated. I was not out. I was gonna find a way to get back up. With newfound determination, I geared back up and got ready to go back out more confident than ever that I was going to find a village this time. In this Lifesteal server, you have the ability to teleport, but it's only somewhere random in the overworld. Using this strategy, I warped into the unknown, hoping to find a village that had not been destroyed yet. I explored for what felt like forever, through different biomes and different places. I crossed a massive ocean and ended up finding a sunken pirate ship with a little bit of loot in it, but nothing crazy. Even passing an underwater temple, which I was not equipped to face yet. I came across another village, but once again, it was ransacked, and I was beginning to feel like I would never find one. Maybe there was just none left on this server. Maybe I should just give up. I mean, dude, I'm so far away from spawn, and they can't even leave villages in decent condition. It's just destroyed. Yeah. That's what I would say if I was a quitter. Epic exploration montage, go! Why does it say in the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight? Because, like, doesn't the lions be, like, in the plains, in the fields like this? He's not really in the jungle. Is he in the jungle and I just don't know that he'd be over there? Or, like what's up, you know? Also, there's a village here, so that's kind of cool, I guess. Yeah, it looks like it's already been found. But, these crops are just, like, kind of growing. No way! They got guys here! When did they friggin' get guys? None of these other guys had guys, and now here they are. Awesome, dude. I am like 10,000 blocks from my base. Now I had the location of some live villagers that were mine for the taking. The only problem was, how was I gonna get them home? With it being over 8,000 blocks, it was going to be a trek and a half to even get them close. The way to transport villagers is either a minecart or a boat, and I did not have the materials needed for a minecart and rail system, meaning I would have to use a boat, but boats cannot go up or down, they can only go straight, so this was going to be a problem. Then I came up with an idea. If you didn't already know, every block that you travel in the nether equals 8 blocks in the overworld, meaning if I wanted to make travel easier and faster, we were going to have to use the nether. The plan was to build a nether portal outside of my base, mine all the way up to the top of the nether, and then create a tunnel all the way there, finishing with a portal that should hopefully take us right outside this village. I called my buddy Hoob so he could get started on the plan, and then I met him back at the base. Operation Villager was a go. I saw the portal he had created and headed through. He had already started making progress on the tunnel we were building, but that's when I realized something. This is gonna take so long, dude. We are not making good time. So we changed the plan. We had forgotten that we could use the nether roof. Through some fancy tricks, we got onto the roof and traveled all the way to where we needed to be. We traveled thousands of blocks, even in the nether, and then finally built the portal. Me and Hoob grabbed the villager each in our boats, and then back to the nether. When I tell you this next clip was genuinely 40 minutes long, I mean we rode the boat for 40 minutes through the nether roof. It was taking so long, we genuinely put a heavy weight on our W key so it would just keep going forward without us. All we had to do was not get the villagers killed, which you'd think would be easy, but knowing us, that was not going to be easy. Let's check in with gameplay me. Awesome, thanks for the update. Hoob and I somehow got separated, so he was coming in from a completely different direction when we got to our home portal. Do not ask me how we did that, it honestly makes no sense to me either. We built a wall around the portal for them, so there's no possible way we can mess this up and they escape. The last thing we wanted right now is for them to escape. Okay, I'm gonna break his boat so we can go through. Okay, he's free, he's free. Come on, buddy, go through. Why would you do that? Why would you? These are the dumbest guys. Oh, he went through. Go, go, go. Chase him. Don't let him get away. He's going to get himself killed. The other guy went through. We should have baby-proofed the other side of the portal. We got them in the boats and were able to row them back to the entrance of our base. It was definitely a risk not checking the other side before we sent them through the portal, but it was nighttime and we had been rowing for 45 minutes, so you can cut us some slack. It was a long time. I'm not gonna lie, I accidentally stopped recording and I really wish I had the next clip for you guys. So just use your imagination for a minute and I'll tell you what happened. Basically, Hoob and I rowed the villagers into the base and I somehow accidentally started suffocating the villager that was in my boat. I started panicking so bad, and the only reason the villager didn't die is because Hoob acted so quick. If you can imagine me panicking, spamming I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry over and over again as Hoob saves the day. Really, it was a test of Hoob. It was all just part of my plan. Anyway, I figured we were gonna need beds for them, so I got this sheep. You may recognize him. Yes, this is Naked Sheep from the beginning of the video. And I know what you're thinking. Don't you have that sheep torture area? Yes. But those sheep are for being tortured, not for wool, okay? Everyone knows that. And just like that, we had our villagers. The quest was complete. We now had an infinite supply of villagers, meaning an infinite supply of librarians and every other job to give us emeralds and more powerful equipment. This was a massive win. Also, this was the secret room at the beginning of the tour. I didn't want to show you guys yet. Very happy to say though, Operation Villagers was a success. With the success of this mission, it means we unlock stronger things, access to better gear and better weapons, but that also means we can go to more dangerous places. Not only can we, but we should. We have to. We need to journey down into the depths. We need to go to the deep dark.